Thanks again for tuning back into the channel. In this week's video we are going to be looking at the Viltrox, try and get that in focus, the Viltrox AF40 2.5 for Sony. Now this is an autofocus lens and it's a relatively inexpensive lens. This comes from the Viltrox Air series and small form factor, and I've had it for a little while now. Viltrox, again, although they sent this through, do not know what I'm going to say about it, but it's performed brilliantly. It's performed as I expected and actually slightly better considering the price of this lens. So without further ado, let's dive right in and I'll show you some of the shots that I tested the lens with and how I got on with it. The Viltrox 40mm f2.5 is quite a small form factor lens, and there is nothing on the lens body itself except for the focusing ring. There's no other buttons, switches. It is a fully autofocusing lens. The lens hood again is quite small and compact and snaps in place very, very easily. Although it is a plastic body lens, it's a solid plastic and it does not feel cheap in any way at all. Updatable via the USB Type-C, and all this plus a very sharp image, all for under 200 bucks. Viltrox are known for their sharp lenses, and I did shoot at a few different f-stops. My favourites being f8, f5.6, and I did a couple of shots at f2.5. But with this image here, this was shot fully at f8, and you can see how sharp it is, even down in the corners. There is a slight drop off, but nothing that you would be concerned about even if you were printing. At f8, the clarity throughout the frame is really, really good. This for me was my favourite f-stop when I was testing out the lens, and as usual I go to the same places to test out lenses. Go first thing in the morning as well, because it's then quiet. I can then compare lenses with other previous lenses I've tried. This again performs admirably. At f5.6 as well, the lens is really, really sharp, and you can see there's a slight haze here. There was when I was taking the image anyway, and that's nothing to do with the lens itself. Down in the corners, as I mentioned, there can be slight softness, but I look for, when testing a lens, I look to try it in the environments that I would normally be shooting in. Here again, another one at f5.6. And you can see the sharpness throughout the frame here. It handles all conditions really, really well. And I would actually really recommend this lens, especially for the price. At f2.5, it performs brilliant. It's really sharp centre frame. For me, it's probably something that I won't use too often, but as you can see by the images here, it is really sharp. The bokeh in the background is quite pleasing. It's something that I don't normally look for though. It is quite a pleasing bokeh as well, but that doesn't make an image in its own. If Sunstars are your thing, I started one at f8 and then tried another at f16 just to see how the lens handled the two apertures for Sunstars. Hopefully you get something from that, and hopefully it lets you see just how the lens performed for me, and or how I performed with the lens, because that's mainly the case. It's how you actually perform with a lens. The lens is sharp, the lens is lightweight, it is very, very light. I think it's only around 200 grams, but I put that on the screen. But it's very light, very small form factor, as I mentioned, and for the price of it, it produces really, really outstanding images. The sharpness is really good. So hopefully you get something from that quick insight on the lens itself. Thanks again for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.